Let's get ready to rumble!
Do you know what? You'd think I'd know what I was doing. Nearly 2 years we've done this, and I still screw up occasionally at the beginning. Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Nick, aka Alfred from the Batcave, aka Shank Club, NFL, Thursday Night Football, Niners, Titans. Yeah, you've got it. Titans. I'm not going to call them the Titans. They are still the Titans. Got a lot to get into. Got a lot of great people coming up to give their takes. Paul is going to be coming on. He's pushing his car home from wherever he's stranded. So Paul will be on. Got some great guests lined up. I've got a massive Traybot in the building against us. Jimmy stands. So we're going to get into that. And firstly, I need to say thank you. Before I bring anyone else in, I need to say thank you to L. Sleepy Floyd for my green screen background. NWA Niners winning it all. So L. Sleepy, I know you tuned in. I said give you a shout out. Thank you very much for letting me use that. If this is your first time, and of course it wouldn't be, right? It wouldn't be your first time because everyone knows the Shank Club NFL and everyone knows me because I get dogs abuse all the time with my Jimmy G love in spaces, in real time, wherever. I think it's just jealousy. I think they love me really. But anyway, without further ado, let me kick in my co-host. Not literally, obviously, kids, because violence isn't good. Bring in. That's a much better thing to say. Let me bring in my co-host, Carl. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. That first part of the show was very slick. I will give you that. And
it's never slick. Never slick.
And as far as kicking me is concerned, no, that was just a poor take.
Trust me, if we don't go into circuit breaker lockdown and you do come over on January the 8th, we'll do a live kicking of me kicking you in.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Work all done. Finally, I can start enjoying Christmas now. Big game for us on Sunday against the Bills. Pretty much an AFC East title decider. And it's just good to actually have a show on Thursday night for a change. Makes it a little bit more interesting. And obviously, we're previewing the 49ers Titans match as well. You're muted.
Honestly, I'm such a fucking amateur at this. My internet went wrong, and then I muted myself because I was swearing at my internet, and then my internet came back up, and I forgot I was muted. But I'm such a professional. Please beat the Titans. My whole team has COVID. I thought a lot were coming off of that list, but we will see. And let's bring in a new guest who is a Traybot, and he might speak like a robot. Who knows? Oh, that's more Dalek than robot. That's one for the teenagers. Ted, Good. Is it good morning or good after? Probably good afternoon where you are, sir.
It's just a little before noon, coming up on 11:40 here Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for having me on, Nick. I really appreciate it. Big fan of your show. Thanks, Carl. And yeah, Trey Bot, Trey Stan, land sexual. That sounds too much like something else, though, so I probably won't say that again.
Yeah. You probably don't want to ban that around as a nickname, to be honest, because
That's why I haven't typed it.
the woke generation wouldn't like that, because I know a lot of
they're
people
probably
don't
coming
like
for me between them and the gym stands. There's probably an army waiting at my door.
Exactly. I've got my just out of shot. You can't see it, and I can't stand up. But I've got my pitchfork and I've got my torch to come and burn your house down.
It's a long swim, Nick. So good luck. You better get started.
It is. I'll get there by probably New Year.
I'll send an Uber to pick you up out of the bay. It'll be all good.
Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Good to have you along, Ted. We're going to get into everything, obviously. And let's bring on, who should we bring on next? Let's bring on my Welsh friend, Nick. Nick, how are you, sir? Rocking the Kittle throwback.
Always, mate, always. Got to give Kittle some love. God, he's a magnificent bastard.
He, honestly, what a human being. That last game, man, what a human being. And I have to say, I am rocking the Willis 52 because obviously he was inducted with John Taylor at the last home game. So
yeah,
I dug this one out of mothballs because I haven't worn it for a few years. But how are you, Nick? How's things? All ready for Christmas? You know, all that jazz. Stuffed your turkey? Mwah, mwah.
Oh, turkey's had a good stuffing all year, mate. That's well good to go. I've been based in that bad boy since midsummer. But
that's what Pornhub
right.
That's what Pornhub does to you. You shouldn't be watching that shit.
I blame Freddie.
We said, what are you eating?
I blame Freddie. It's all on Freddie. I'm sorry.
It's all on Freddie.
Listen, we're professionals here. We can't lower the tone that much. I know I did, but it's my show and I can do what I like. Good to have you along, Nick. I'm glad to say that he's finished his shift early at the McDonald's drive-through. Unfortunately, he hasn't had time to take his uniform off. But I'm glad to welcome our resident Kansas City Chiefs fan, Scott. Good afternoon. Guess you finished for the holidays, hence being here. How are you? How's your week been?
I'm doing great. Yeah, week's over for the holidays, so got 4 days off here, just taking it easy, enjoying being back in first place where the Chiefs belong in the AFC. Yeah, life is good, man. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing very well. I've done 3. I don't know. Obviously, people have seen on Twitter. I forgot to actually mention it. 3 of my co-workers went down with COVID-19 Friday/Saturday. I am due to have my 87-year-old mum over for Christmas starting tomorrow. Thank God I've done 3 negative tests. It's the 5th day today when apparently that's the last chance of you maybe testing positive for it. They've all been negative. I'm doing 1 more tomorrow, and then I can safely say I'm having a Christmas. So yeah, I'm fingers crossed, because I was just saying to Carl before we came on the air, the turkey crown I bought is bigger than my head and bigger than my dog. Ted Jr. is in the house. Look at that. Do we get a Go Niners, Ted?
This is Ford. Ford, can you say Go Niners?
Go Niners.
There you go.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.
He's got Niners PJs on too.
Look at that.
He won't wear anything else now.
Right there.
You have to wash him every day.
Adorable.
Anyone that's
Absolutely
watching,
adorable.
that is good parenting right there. Scott, I know you buy your in-laws McDonald's outfits to wear. I'm guessing.
Gift cards.
Gift cards. That's
But
so
little coupons
easy.
for Big
Here's a-
Mac, but
Here's a free, here's a fruit basket. Here's a fruit basket and an Amazon gift card. Don't call me, I'll call you. That's how Scott does his thing.
I'm guessing my gift card is in the post, and it will be to someone somewhere that I can't use it. I'm guessing, Scott, right?
I mean, you can't drive through a drive-through right now, can you? So
Yeah, we can. We can. Just about. I think
okay.
everything's going to change probably
Boxing Day. After Boxing
Sunday
Day.
or Monday. We could be going into another lockdown because 120,000 cases yesterday. New cases, should I say. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway, enough of that doom and gloom. How has your week been so far, Scott?
It's been good, man. Just a short week. Now I'm into the long weekend here, ready for some football. It's been a little scary with the COVID list for the Chiefs this week. Seems like they got a Pro Bowl roster that it could challenge for a playoff spot just on itself on the COVID list. But got some guys coming off. Chris Jones is off. Hopefully we can get Travis and Tyreek and some of these other guys. We got, I think, Willie Gay and Josh Gordon. Some names are the list is getting smaller. Obviously, a big game against the Steelers here this weekend. Chiefs are in first place in the AFC, so they need to win out to assure themselves that top spot in the playoffs in the bye week. Not sure if winning 2 or 3 will get it or not. I could see the Patriots or the Titans, stubbing their toe here and losing a game, but I don't know how likely it is that both of them will lose another game here in these last 3. So, yeah, just getting ready for that, hoping we can get our big name guys out there. And it's important games now here. We're at the end of December getting ready for the playoffs. So,
yeah, it's all good. It's all good. One more guest popped up. Going to bring him in. It's my guy, Mark. Mark, how are you, sir? How are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How you doing? What's up, Nick?
Depends which Nick you're talking to. You're either talking to the boss man. Call me Alfred. Then it avoids confusion because people think I sound like Alfred from Batman.
Nick,
who'd have done it? Or my guy down there, the other Nick. So call me Alfred, and then there'll be no confusion.
You said Alfred?
Alfred from Batman. Yeah, apparently I sound like Michael Caine.
All right, Alfred.
Who knows? I'm very well, thank you, Mark. Good week so far. I've been off all week, apart from having COVID tests and things like that. Yeah, all good here. How's things with you?
Everything great on the East Coast. It's about 15 minutes to 3 out here. All is well. I'm excited for this game tonight. Hopefully we'll take care of the Titans the way we took care of the Falcons on Sunday. Just excited, man. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I just hope Jimmy G plays consistent the way he played Sunday. I hope the run blocking is going to be superb like it was Sunday. But I think and believe the defense is going to win this game tonight for us.
Definitely. It's really strange because obviously there's a lot of players with COVID or testing positive or have had, coming off of COVID lists and things. And I don't think either the Titans or the Niners have had anyone in COVID protocol. Not recently anyway, which is good for both teams.
Yeah.
Just going through. Sorry, go on, Mark.
What's up, Carl?
Nice to see you, Mark.
Likewise,
good to have you back.
Well, thank you for having me. Ted, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Mark. Nice to meet you. I mean, at least virtually here.
Likewise, like to meet you too.
We
Nick,
definitely traded talk on the timeline quite a bit. So
absolutely. Nick, how's it going, buddy? Nice to meet you. My name is Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark. Man, how you doing?
All is well, brother. All is well. We got to win tonight, fellas. We got to win tonight. It's bully time.
Mm-hmm. For
Scott,
sure.
I see you, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Mark.
That's good. That's
Good to have you back, man. You came back, which means you might want to go get some help. But
Get some help from who?
if you came back on the show again, so
Listen,
He only came back on because he couldn't believe that you could get off early from your McDonald's shift
listen. I just got
in
off
your
work
uniform.
about 2 hours ago, and plus, I'm in good hands with my brothers on a panel, so I'm in good hands, man.
you are.
And
Yeah,
plus,
no,
with these
I'm-
49ers up here, I think we outnumber all you brothers on the panel, so I think my brothers will take care of me.
Hey, man,
My brother might have to swim across water. I believe,
I'm a Niners fan tonight. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, but the problem is with that, Mark.
What's that?
If Scott picks the Niners, we're going to lose.
Oh man,
he is going to jinx it. I'm hoping he's going to pick the Titans when we pick games because I'm not going to get up. If Scott has picked or Scott picks the Titans, I don't think I'm going to watch the game. Same with Carl. To be honest, Carl isn't a jinx, but Scott will pick the Niners just for the sake of it, even if he. Okay. And that's worrying for me. Let's get into it. Thursday night football, not Monday night football, like Carl pointed out to me earlier that I put out on Twitter.
Rookie mistake. Absolute rookie mistake.
I hate a smart ass. I really hate a smart ass. The Titans left guard and left tackle are both out, either injuries or COVID, which is good. And even with them in there, they have allowed 41 sacks this season. Now, we all know, and I watched the first, I think, 2/3 of the Titans-Steelers game and kind of got bored because it really was a mind-blowing experience of shite, basically. And just reading some notes here that I've made. Ryan Tannehill, his play is trending in the wrong direction. He's been sacked a lot. He's thrown a lot of interceptions. I know AJ Brown is back and also Julio is back. But Ted, our pass rush has obviously been very, very good the last couple of weeks. Do you think on the defensive side of the ball, obviously with those two receivers back and that pass rush, I know our secondary is a bit sketchy to say the least, but do you think we can match up well with them?
I think we can. I worry about them copying the Green Bay blueprint. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tannehill is Rodgers, obviously, right? But
not by any stretch of the imagination, but
or that AJ Brown is Devontae Adams, although he's not as far off as the QB comparison, or that Julio is the Julio we saw in 2019 when he ravaged us at Levi's and pretty much single-handedly beat us when our secondary was shorthanded. In 2019, we were missing Sherm and K1 and Tart were all out. So 60% of our DBs, 3 of our 5 DBs were out. But I still think it holds true that if you get the ball out quickly, our corners can be beat. Norman can't tackle. Ambry gets great position, but he gets mossed repeatedly. So it's a concern. I mean, I see Ambry improving, but I really hope somehow Dante Johnson can come back and play because he seemed like a much more solid option at CB2. The nice thing about Ambry though is, you would assume that he's going to improve, being that he's a rookie and that he took 2020 off, that he'll not just improve, but, knock rust off. Part of it's rust. Part of it is just inexperience. So yeah, I mean, I worry about them quick passing. I worry about their run game. Obviously they don't have Derrick Henry anymore, or at least not maybe till the end of the season or the playoffs. But Devontae Foreman has been doing a really nice job in his absence. He's got 4.5 yards per carry. And he, the one area where they're really lacking with Foreman is he only has 1 TD, compared to Derrick Henry. I think had 12 or something before he went out. But, part of that is from having A.J. Brown and Julio out, right? If you've got nobody to threaten the outside and deep, then everybody can scrunch up close and in the middle, and it's really hard to punch the ball in as a running back. So I think that could explain away some of that. It could explain away quite a bit of Tannehill's recent struggles. So yeah, they've lost, 3 out of their last 4. We've won 3 of our last 4, but I don't know how much you want me to get into. But as far as the Ambry thing, that's a big, big concern. And I'll wait till other things come up if you want to hear about other parts. I don't want to just go on and on and on.
Yeah, I agree with Ambry Thomas, but the thing I will say, watching where, he's been burnt, but he's been there, and he to me is almost there, almost. And I know he's been going against some really tough receivers in the last few weeks, but I think he's held his own. I know he has been beaten, but then show me a cornerback that doesn't. And I'm trying to think the touchdown last week.
Russell Gage.
He literally was right where he needed to be, and it was literally just a fingertip away from an INT.
Also, Eric Armstead got held brutally on that play.
Niners are always getting held.
Yeah.
Just after Mr. Chokehold down on the bottom line in the middle.
Yep. Just got to expect that.
But we never talk about the Super Bowl and the holding, do we, Scott? Ever?
Never. Not one time before now.
No, only for about a year and a half have we talked about that. But yeah, I mean, Ambry Thomas, to me, you can see there's something there, right? It's not as if he's as raw as everyone, I think, is making out. And I've been quite impressed because he is literally 98% of either getting a pick or knocking the ball away. And that comes with reps, right, Nick? He has looked, he's gaining momentum, was probably a better thing to say. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ambry Thomas from the first week. It's night and day. He's a much better player than he was in the first couple of weeks. And it's not even just the touchdown where he was close. You look at the almost interception where Kyle Pitts grabbed it, had 1 foot down, didn't quite get in. He wasn't far off making another big play there. There was a fair few occasions, in fairness to him. I didn't think we were going to get much out of him after the week 1 performance. He was awful. Absolutely awful. Then Diamador Lenoir came in. He looked pretty tidy. Then, of course, he went out for whatever reason. But there's massive strides being made with him, and I'm really excited about him now all of a sudden.
I think the key to this game, apart from the sort of like that, we know that, Warner and Al-Shaair, if he's playing, or Flanagan Fowles in the middle, we got good coverage in those middle linebacker slots. So we have got to get pressure to take the pressure off of the cornerbacks. And that hasn't, although I say it hasn't been, of course it's been happening because Bosa is on fire. But yeah, we've got to try and get coverage sacks, and that could be an issue, Mark, in this game. Julio isn't Julio anymore, and apparently he's still kind of banged up, but then he's been banged up for the last 2 years. And he's not the same Julio Jones. But if we can get pressure and good pressure, do you think those and we get safety help over the top, etc., do you think those that Josh Norman and Ambry can hang with it just enough time to either get a sack or incompletion?
Yes, I do. Just enough. And that's what we want, and that's what we need. I believe Tart will help. However, back to Ambry Thomas. I agree with what you were saying, Nick, in regards to he's always there. He just his timing is off as far as reacting to the ball. That's it. I believe, if we remember, he could have had 2 interceptions. It's just that his reaction was late to the ball. Yeah, he's going to be physically outperformed. He's a rookie. He's smaller, probably not as stronger as the wide receivers that he's, competing against. I just think, my humble opinion, I just think that it's his timing of reacting to the ball. Because it was, and you called it. However, it was one play that we thought that he about to catch the ball, even though players on defense made a gesture like that. But when they realized he didn't catch it, they gesture went down because the ball was catchable. When that ball's in the air, it's up for grabs. It's all about who gets it first. And that's the thing I was saying. I just think it's his timing. He just got to work on his timing because he's always there. It's not like he's getting, it was a couple of times he got burnt. However, but when he's right there, the ball's in the air, it's all about timing.
Definitely. Ted, you wanted to chime in about Ambry?
Yeah, I was just saying that the things I like about him are a lot like Spoon. What I would have said about Witherspoon was that he always maintained good position. I feel like Ambry does that really well. And then something that Spoon didn't do for a long, long time was turn his head to locate the ball. Ambry seems to do a really good job of that as well too. So I think it's just a matter of him, getting a little stronger. He was off last season, to avoid COVID, and he lost some weight. So I think he needs to put back some muscle. And like Mark was saying, just get that timing down, I think. And I think it'll just come with playing. So I think it's good to keep him in there as long as we can. I mean, like I said I'd love to get Dante back, but that's the downside of bringing Dante back is one, you probably hurt Ambry's confidence, and definitely you hurt his, progression, his ability to improve, which should happen fairly rapidly as he gets more playtime. One thing I want to make sure too, I don't know if anybody saw this, but it came out about an hour ago. Buck Rising, who's who's a Titans reporter, reported that so not only are Luan and Saffold ruled out, but then Kendall Lamb, their backup tackle, has COVID. So it's 2 tackles and a guard now. So that's good news.
Tannehill's going to be running for his life tonight.
Nick Bosa is going to break 19.5 sacks tonight.
That would be
He
awesome.
will. He will. If the offensive line of the Tennessee Titans is that depleted, then you expect Bosa to at least get a sack on Tannehill, at least one.
I mean, I'm interested, Carl, because obviously, and Scott, how do you rate Tannehill without Derrick Henry? He's obviously a lot better QB, and we've said this because it's the same with Jimmy G with his top tier running back. Mm-hmm. When you've got that running threat, it changes everything. And yes, I know the guy who's in there is helping, but it's not Derrick Henry. I was worried about this game at the beginning of the season because we all know what Derrick Henry does in November and December when it counts. He'll take 300 yards a game and just go fucking crazy. He's not there. The backup isn't the same. The line, obviously, we now know is even more depleted. What do you see, Carl? What do you do with Tannehill? And he's got paid a lot of money, and same as Jimmy G. And they are similar, although obviously Tannehill probably has got a better arm than Jimmy G. I think we can all agree on that. But they are quite similar. And I'm interested what you think, because they're both paid top 15 money, right?
I think the comparison is actually is spot on, actually, because I think that with Tannehill, when he has Derrick Henry in the backfield, he can actually use the play action very, very well. But Derrick Henry has been out now for about 7 games, and Tannehill's stats so far has been 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, and a passer rating of 81.3. Jimmy Garoppolo does rely so much on the running game to actually help him use the play action in the same way that Tannehill does. And I think with Derrick Henry out, you've seen what's happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks to the Titans. They just can't get anything going on offense at the minute. And I know AJ Brown and Julio Jones have been out with injury, but they just can't manufacture anything on offense. They can't do anything. And that's the problem that the Titans have at this minute in time. But as I said, I think the similarity between Garoppolo and Tannehill, I think, is actually spot on. I think they're the same sort of quarterback. As you said, Tannehill has probably got the more stronger arm on him. Although, to be fair, Jimmy Garoppolo is averaging 8.5 yards per pass, which is first in the NFL. Just saying.
Don't tell anybody.
I think the Titans are in a real tough spot right now, and Tannehill has to conjure something up because it's looking more and more dangerous now. Because it's not so much that Tennessee could fall out of their seeded spot for home field playoff game. They could miss the playoffs maybe entirely because the Colts are on their heels, and the AFC is just an absolute fucking mess right now. So Tannehill has to do something in this game. Otherwise, it could be curtains for this team.
Definitely. Ted makes a few good points. He's more mobile than Jimmy G. I think we can all agree with that.
Correct.
Titans fans feel like we do about Jim. I don't believe that. I can't believe in a million years there's pitchforks and people wanting to kill people because they like Jimmy G.
I've got quite a few Titans followers on my Twitter feed, and not many of them are saying bad words about Tannehill.
I suppose it depends on who you follow. Anyway, Carl, have you got, before I go to Scott, actually, let's read this comment quickly. Tannehill is a tough dude. Really get in there with his head down. Talent-wise, he's the next tier down from the best QBs with Baker and Cousins. Cousins is awful. He is the new Tony Romo, Chocotron, 10,000 Mark II.
To be fair with Kirk Cousins, yeah, okay, we always think like that. But if you look at his stats from this year, he hasn't exactly done that bad. It's just the fact he's got a shitty head coach for the Vikings, and the defense is a turnstile.
Trust me, Chocotron 5,000 Mark II. In fact, he could probably be Mark I with Tony Romo, because he will always screw it up in a big spot. Yeah, he'll flash and make big plays and do all that, but I guarantee you, just like Romo, when it really counts, you can't count on Cousins. And that's always been, to me, from an outsider, has always been his problem. The same as with Romo. When it came to the big games and the big spots, you cannot rely on either of those two. Scott, before we get into the injury report, what's your feelings on this game? Please don't pick the Niners or I'm kicking you out the stream.
Well, Tannehill and Jimmy, I put them in the good but not great kind of category for quarterbacks. So you can win games with them. You can make the playoffs. I mean, obviously 49ers, they made the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, and they were 10 or 11 minutes away from winning it, but they're just not on that top tier where you really want your quarterback to be one of the prime contenders for championships. And the Kirk Cousins, I put him in that category too. He's good, but he's not great. And to me, that kind of like, that's a big part of what separates good from great is, do you perform in the clutch? when when you're all in and all the chips are in the middle of the table, can you get it done or can you not get it done? And so that's kind of where I see those guys at. We had a ton of those guys in Kansas City for years, good, but just not great. And when you get into the playoffs or you get into these games against great quarterbacks, you lose more often than you're going to win. But it's hard to say, though, with time, because everybody's talking about Tannehill's slump that he's been in these last few weeks. And it's because he doesn't have Derrick Henry. Well, he hasn't had A.J. Brown either. So he hasn't had his best running back, and he hasn't had his best wide receiver either. So it's going to be interesting to see how much of a difference A.J. Brown makes for Ryan Tannehill here in these last few games coming down the stretch. It's kind of one of those things where you can tie one guy, you can tie one arm behind the back, and you can still maybe fight and play and scrap along okay with one arm. But when you take Henry out and you take A.J. Brown out, it's kind of like tying both hands behind the guy's back. Like, what do you expect him to do? So I'm really interested to see what A.J. Brown brings back to the table and see what the Titans offense looks like with A.J. Brown back out there in the mix. Julio Jones, obviously one of the greatest receivers of his time, but he's getting closer to the end than the beginning. Definitely would rather have him available than not have him available if you're a Titans fan. So it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to come down, I think, to the 49ers. What it always does with them is their defense, right? Can the defense pressure Tannehill? Can they get him off his game? Can they get to him before A.J. Brown has a chance to get open? Can they buy the cornerbacks time? You might be able to cover A.J. Brown for 2 or 3 seconds, but not 5, 6, 7 seconds. So I'm rooting for the Niners. The Titans are one game behind the Chiefs in the AFC, and a loss here would really, really help our team out. And I'm not going to pick either way, Nick, just so I don't want to upset you. Although I think my record's been pretty good on picking the Niners this year, if I remember correctly.
Just not in this game. Push it. Don't pick the Niners. Just say it's going to be a tie, for fuck's sake. I can't have you picking the Niners and screwing everything, because you will get some serious heat on Twitter. Trust me.
49ers are favored, right? They're favored to win this game.
3 points.
Yeah, 3. Which is weird. Well, kind of weird, maybe not. Let's just bring in my guy, Lawrence. Blimey, my ears.
What's going on, fellas?
Lawrence,
how you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Everyone, first of all, Nick, Carl, Ted, Mr. Smug, Mark, my brother. Good afternoon or good evening, good morning to everybody. And Faithful, hello.
Nice.
I came in right on time. We were 3.5 favorites. I don't know why we dropped to 3.
Let me have a quick look. Carl, do you want to bring up the injury report very quickly so we can just see who's in and who's out? Latest injury report. This is going to be fun because now he's going to try and bring it and make it full screen, and he only tried it when there was a few of us, and I couldn't see it then. Right, here we go.
Right, can everyone see the screen properly?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Yep.
So for the Niners, Greenlaw out, Hufanga out, Hurst out, Mitchell out. We knew about. Jair questionable. Please, God, please get him in there. Tart game status unknown. What's the score with the Titans? Julio Jones. I'm guessing that means he's in if there's a little dash.
Full practice on Wednesday.
Tart's in.
Tart is in good.
Full
David Long
practice,
Jr. out.
Jeez.
Laurel I can't even pronounce half of these names. I should have looked.
Murchison.
Devonta Freeman in. Queensbury in. Jack Rabbit Jenkins. What a name. In. Saffold the third out. And Tart plays. What's your thoughts on the Niner injuries to start with? Are we bothered? Are we still confident of a win? What do we think?
I'll start. Also, I was going to add Kendall Lamb to the Tennessee Titans COVID another tackle that won't play tonight for them, offensive tackle. So I'll start. You know, Huff is a big injury. We were playing a lot of 5-6 DB looks against the Falcons, and he's a big part of that. Obviously you've got Ambry, you've got Norman, you've got K1, you've got Tart and Ward, but then Huff is the 6th DB to come in, or sometimes maybe the 5th if it's a 3 linebacker look. So I think that's a bigger one than a lot of people want to think about. Maurice Hurst, he's been gone all year, so can't really miss him. Dre Greenlaw, same thing. You know, he's really hasn't been there all year. And then Elijah Mitchell, we know. I mean, that would be so awesome to have him. Jeff Wilson Jr. is starting to look a lot more like 2020 Jeff Wilson Jr. Still not quite there yet. But keep in mind, Falcons' run D is putrid, you know. So their D in general, their D defensive ends are putrid. They got 2 good linebackers and 1 good tackle and 1 good corner, and that's about it. I know right the week before they played us, they lost one of their safeties, Torres Peck. So I don't really consider them a good bellwether for this game. I think Cincinnati Bengals, on the other hand, are a much better bellwether. And the Bengals weren't as good as their sort of statistics would tell you, because they lost Logan Wilson the week before they played us, their stud middle linebacker, who is basically their Fred Warner. I'm not saying he's Fred, but he's a good equivalent. And then they lost Trey Hendrickson before halftime, who definitely could be compared to Bosa. So, this Titans D is legit. They've held 2 teams in a row to under 200 total yards. So very concerned about their defense.
The only thing I would say, Ted, about that is the last team they played.
The Steelers?
Yeah, awful team. Now,
Ted, sorry, Nick. Ted, just to brush up on that. Obviously, Najee Harris could get nothing going against this Titans run defense. Do you reckon that Jeff Wilson Jr. is going to have a little bit more success tonight, or do you reckon it could be the same old story from last week?
Well, I mean, I think we have a better O-line than the Steelers. And obviously we have Kittle and Juice, right, who are kind of secret weapons in the run game. And we have Shanahan scheming it up. And we have, real good. I mean, I think Jimmy G's playing better than Ben. And I don't know that their weapons are any better than ours with the way Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle are playing. I don't know that many teams have a better big 3 than that. So, yeah, I think Jeff Wilson Jr. will do better. But I don't think he'll do really well. I don't think he'll do like 110 or whatever he put up against the Falcons. I think it'll be more like what we saw against the Bengals, which was like 59 yards. Yeah, maybe less, maybe 50, 55 yards if it's the same number of carries.
I think the thing is, though, Ted, the difference is going against this defense. We have got a lot of people that can be in the backfield, motion in, motion out, etc. It's not going to be a static run game, right? Whereas you can put Kittle in there, you can put Ayuk in there. We all know Debo can go in there. Juice can run. So it's not. And I think it's going to be all about scheme in this game.
Exactly.
They're not going to know who's running it, if they're running it, when they're running it. So to me, we pose a bigger problem to a lot of teams, not just obviously Tennessee with their stingy run D. We do pose a lot of problems. And I was worried, to be honest, going into the Cincinnati game with how things were going to pan out. And Carl just went into his bag of tricks. Well, he's been in his bag of tricks the last 2 games. And we've seen that. So I'm not that worried, if I'm honest, with the run game, because I think will do a lot of different looks, a lot of different personnels, a lot of not trick plays, but and you know what Carl's like, especially in his first 15 or 20 scripted plays, whatever it is, he'll move the defense around and see what's going on and then react to it in the next lot of plays. So whilst I kind of have a concern, I don't really, because I know that we have those weapons that can do things, and Jimmy's quick release and slants and this. So it wouldn't surprise me if we came out throwing first and setting up the run. That wouldn't surprise me.
I guess, but their pass defense is good too. They've got a great D line. They got Landry on one side. They've got Danico Autry on the other, and I think Bud Dupree's coming back now too. So they got 3 legitimate defensive ends, which is going to be trouble for Compton. You know, he did fine against the Falcons, but their best guy is Fowler, and he has literally like 4.5 sacks on the season, and they got nobody else even close to that on their whole D line. I think the next person is 3. So, and you say Cincinnati like it was fine. It was not fine, man. I mean, the first half of that game, we scored 7 points that weren't off of 2 muff punts. The second half, we scored 3 points total. So that's 10 points that weren't off 2 muff punts in that game. And then in the overtime, yeah, Jim was good. We gave him time. He was maybe great even. It was certainly very good in the overtime. But the rest of that game was I would say, you know, minus.
Don't talk to me about Tom Compton. He's the only person who can put pads on and get a concussion in the locker room. Ridiculous.
he's been a nice surprise though. The fact that he's run blocking as well, better than McGlinchey.
Good, but he's more of a turnstile than the McGlinchey.
Yes.
Lawrence, what are your thoughts on this game?
What's going on, fellas? Again, I think first of all we're going to win the game. I think coming out and starting with Jimmy throwing the ball to set up the run may be a mistake. I think he usually gets in trouble when he does that, to be honest with you. But I think we'll be able to run the ball. Maybe we won't get chunk runs today with Wilson and the other backs. But because this offense, meaning the Titans, isn't an offense that, you know, can really stretch the field, I think it'll be able to allow Cal to continue to run the ball throughout the game. The game is going to be low scoring, at least I believe on their end, because I just don't think they have enough weapons on offense. So whether we do get big chunk plays, you know, in the run game or not, I think we're still going to get around 32 to 35 runs out of this game from all of the different options that we have. And then that'll allow Jimmy to work in the play action game, get down the field and you know, actually put points on the board. So I definitely think we're going to get the W. I don't think it's going to be as difficult a game, honestly, as people believe, just literally because of the injuries that this team has, meaning the Titans, and they're depleted really in talent as far as I'm concerned anyway.
There's a receiver that has caught my eye over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Deebo Samuel's playing at an all-world level. George Kittle is simply George Kittle. But there's a guy that was in training camp and in preseason that was turning a few heads. Obviously, one of them was Trent Sherfield, and the other one last week, Jawan Jennings.
Jawan Jennings.
How far do you think Jawan Jennings can go in the depth chart, probably for the next couple of years in this 49ers roster?
I think we'll get some of that tonight out of him again. I think he has a rapport with Jimmy. He's a big-bodied receiver. So, like I said, you know, we get the ball down the field however we need to do that, whether it's chunk plays or consistently picking up, you know, third downs with Jimmy and whatnot. And then down there at the end zone, this is a really physical team, the Titans. So we're going to need our more physical players, you know, to bring it. And I think that Jennings has an opportunity to show that last week wasn't, you know, a fluke. It was a really good route that he ran, a really good timing route that he ran to get open for that touchdown. Great catch. And I think he could be a sleeper. I think he could end up being what I was hoping Jalen Hurd was going to be for the last 3 years. I was his biggest fan, man. I don't know why, but I was really, really high on Jalen Hurd. I mean, the different things that I thought he could bring to the offense. And then, of course, his size. I'm a classic kind of wide receiver guy in that TO form, you know, maybe not obviously that speed or that quickness, but just that big body and somebody who can go get the ball. And I think that Jawan Jennings, the play that he made there, is indicative of that. I think he'll be able to, at the goal line, work against corners, even today, against the Titans and the tough defensive players that they have, and be an asset for us down there in the goal line. Maybe not so far all the way, all around the middle of the field, between the 20s, but at the goal line, I think he's going to be an asset for us, for not just today, but in the years to come.
Mark, what's your thoughts
On Jauan Jennings?
on the game and just general?
Well, like I said earlier, I think and believe it's going to be a defensive game. I respect my brother Lawrence, what he was saying earlier. However, I think it's going to be a tough game because the Titans was embarrassed against the Steelers. And I think they're going to play even harder for their coach. So
True.
with that said, it's going to be a tough game. I think we're going to win. I hope we win. I believe our winning score will be 27-20. And again, it's going to be a defensive game. My main concern, maybe about 2 or 3, is just our offense to be consistent. That's number 1. Number 2, the run blocking. Because once the run blocking is successful, our running game is successful. Okay? Because if that is not successful, they're gonna pack. They're gonna pack the box. So with that said, if Jimmy G is forced to air it out, then I'm very optimistic about that. And it's like, okay, we don't know what we're going to get. Just like this past Sunday, we ain't know what was going to get, but he played great. As a good quarterback, he played great. Okay, so with that said, on defense, it's just really just 2 things. It's just maintain your blocking. Because sometimes early in the season, I was concerned about our tackling. I should say that, excuse me, not blocking. Our tackling. I was concerned about our tackling. You understand? And just try your best to make those turnovers. If the ball is there, go get it. Work on your timing. I know it's probably hard to say, but while they're playing, work on your timing and just execute by any means necessary. Just execute. Now with Jauan Jennings, I was telling the brothers, I think Saturday or Sunday, I really like this. I really like this young guy. He has the height, he has the hands. He's like one of those guys that he can beat you quietly to the point you got to keep an eye on him. Why everybody's eyes on Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk. You got to keep your eyes on Jennings. He's kind of like Juice. You got to keep your eye on him because you don't know, he can beat you. While you worrying about everybody else, you better keep your eye on Juice and Jennings. So with Jennings, I hope for the best for him. I like what he's doing. Again, I like the young man. He's very humble. You could tell that he loves the game. He loves the team. He loves what he's doing. So I'm hoping that he has a good game. I'm hoping that Jeff Wilson has a good game. I think, Carl, you mentioned earlier, is he going to have a better game than Sunday? My humble opinion, Jeff Wilson had a great game Sunday to get over 100 yards, 110 yards. Listen, if he even get close to that tonight, I think Ted, I think you said it. If he can have around the same carries, around 55 yards, or hopefully 75 yards, that'd be good in that atmosphere. So with that said,
I agree with that to a certain degree. But as we said last week, the 49ers played the Atlanta Falcons. They're just a walking doormat at this moment in time. You're playing the Titans defense that they can actually stop the run. As I already said to Ted about, Najee Harris couldn't do absolutely nothing on that Titans defense. There's only one crumb of comfort I will give for that, and that's the 49ers offensive line is a lot better than the Steelers' offensive line. That's the only slight little bit of crumb of comfort I will
I think
give,
that-
where Jeff Wilson could actually make the breakout for this game, possibly.
I say our scheme is better as well. I say our scheme is better than Pittsburgh's.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the biggest thing for me. The Pittsburgh offense, and I've got to tell you, I don't know if everyone can see the abominable snowman, aka Ryan, trying to get in the stream. He's having real problems with his internet, and his face keeps popping up, and he looks very cold, and his internet sucks. So,
must have that blender going or the microwave.
Honestly, yeah, bless him.
It's usually my internet.
He's
outside and he's freezing.
He's looking like a
Nick,
frozen
let's get your thoughts on the game before we pick it. And obviously, there are two. Well, probably Carl isn't going to lone wolf, but we never know. Nick, what are your thoughts on this game?
I think you guys have hit it on the head. I don't think there's much more I can really say without just repeating what's already gone through. It's a big game. We all know that. If we're going to progress, today's got to be a win. We've got a chance. We've got to take it. That's it.
Can I just say that's the first time you've ever said there's nothing else I can add? Normally, you're off on a tangent. So I'm impressed. You obviously haven't had enough cider tonight, Nick. What's going on?
Oh, I've not long out of work.
I was going to say, did BT let you out early? Because you actually joined before we started.
I actually finished earlier than I expected. So I'd like to say I power walked home. I power waddled home, but I made it. So
trust me, we've seen your power moves on the flag football field, brother.
Can I say?
I was like Jerry Rice on crutches.
Oh, dude, don't put Jerry Rice down like that. That's not fair.
Right. There's only two people is anyone picking any Niner people on this panel picking against the Niners? Or are we all going Niners?
No. That's a negative.
I have to wait and see on Aziz Alshire. If he plays, I'd probably give us a slight edge. If he doesn't, I'd probably fade the Niners slightly.
Okay.
So do I have to howl?
For what reason can Tennessee beat us? I'd like to know anyone that said literally, because you have to score more points than the other team. So unless Jimmy, pardon my friend, I don't think you care, so shits the bed today. In what way can Tennessee outscore us? Does anyone see that happening?
Well, AJ Brown is active. They just activated AJ Brown.
And
off of an injury, activated off of an injury. How does Debo play in this first game? Activated up. You know what I mean? Okay, I understand that.
And Julio's active, full practice yesterday. So and
also
who's guarding them?
I think Julio's more like Julio these days, but
and Foreman, right? Playing
and Foreman. They got Michael Pruitt is no slouch at tight end. I forget.
What about their quarterback?
Is Ferkser playing?
Ryan Tannehill was playing.
Ryan Tannehill is better than Jimmy G.
I don't
think
so.
He's more mobile with a bigger arm. He's just like Jimmy G.
They do things better than each other. They do things better than each other. I can say I wouldn't say one is even better than the other. I would even call him a wash.
Is better than Jimmy G.
Is he more accurate? I don't think he's more accurate. He doesn't have a quicker release. He's not more accurate.
He certainly handles pressure better.
I would.
That's what I say.
I would agree that.
And he's more mobile.
He's more mobile, bigger arm,
better than Jimmy.
Slightly, yeah. I mean, they're like tomato, potato.
Right. That's what I'm saying. His arm is better. I think we're more talented outside of the quarterback, and I think that even right now tonight with the spotlight with this game, he is more likely to crap the bed than Jimmy is. I do, and then that's what each one of them has been showing as their pattern recently. Jimmy's been playing well, at least for Jimmy, and Ryan Tannehill hasn't been playing his best ball. Jimmy's playing his best ball right now. Jimmy can't play any better than he's playing right now. He missed like 4 incompletions last week.
Let's talk about Jimmy G playing well. All right.
Here we go.
Here we go. Time out. No, I'm only joking. Go ahead.
To preface that, I said for Jimmy. Okay.
For Jimmy. No. That's fine. And I don't hate
Throw
Jimmy.
the flag.
I don't hate. I just get caught in these things where people go extreme, and I go extreme to argue against them. But I don't hate Jimmy. I don't love Lance. But like, let's talk about this 8-game stretch that everybody's talking about, right? So we got last 8 games, we're 6-2. All right, sounds good. Okay, now let's look at it a little more closely. 4 of those wins, we ran it 32 times against the Falcons, 37 times, I forget which one, 42 and 44 out of those. So all were 32 to 44 runs to basically hide Jimmy. One game was Cincinnati, where we only won because of 2 muff punts, because of a critical taunting penalty, and a drop pick 6. Any one of those 4 things doesn't happen, we lose that game. And then
just real quick, I'm sorry. When someone says only one because of one playing a game, and I know that cliches are major, especially with our quarterback and our coach.
What was the score at the end of the game?
I don't necessarily always feel that one play. Always, that's just my personal opinion. Was
it does
turn of
when
any
the
game.
Scores tied 20-20 at the end. You bet it does.
Yeah, okay. Well, that one play happened, and then another one play could have happened after that. Is my point. It's yes that affected the game, but then someone could turn right around and throw a pick on the next play. We've seen that happen. That happens every day.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Once one thing changes, everything's different. Okay, fine. I'll take that. All right, and then with but also with the Bengals. All right, let's forget all those plays. Let's look at the fact that Logan Wilson, their stud middle linebacker, missed the game completely, and Trey Hendrickson, their Bosa, essentially went out before halftime. So you put them back in.
He was killing us.
And I said, yeah, he was killing us. I said they win the game there. So forget those 4 plays. Put the players back. All right, and then you look at the Bears. They're missing Khalil Mack, and Eddie Jackson went down on like the second play of the game. They're 2 best, or say 2 of their best 3 defenders out. So now all of a sudden, all 6 of those wins. I mean, I'm not going to say they have an asterisk, but there's,
The thing is, though, Ted, right? All teams have injuries. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, right? At the end of the day, if Lance was in there and we'd have won, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, fortunately, unfortunately, whether Jimmy hands the ball off 30 times, 10 times, 5 times, whatever, he's winning. And I don't care about stats, yards after catch, blah, all that shit, right? Everybody in here who has seen, and yes, a lot of it is bullshit. We saw on KMBR the other day, John Lynch saying, oh yeah, how wonderful Jimmy G does this and this, that, and the other. And and apparently now Trey Lance is dicing up on the scout team. Right? They'll say whatever people want to hear. They're not gonna diss Jimmy G. They're gonna build up Trey Lance, the same as they'll build up all players, right? But at the end of the day, I don't care who's in there, and I've said this all along. At the moment, it's Jimmy G, and we are winning games. I don't give a fuck whether he hands it off 50 times tonight, and we win 10.
Just like he did in the playoffs 2 years ago. That's all he did was hand the ball off. That's my point. It doesn't matter. That's my point. He wasn't great then either. He was still Jimmy G. He was the same quarterback. Those 5 games that he played, he's still what he was now. He just didn't have a leg injury and he wasn't in his head. He was the same quarterback. He still couldn't throw to the hashes. He still couldn't have completed that 40-yard completion to Emmanuel, even when he came here on Halloween. He was still the same guy. He's still that same guy today, just 5 years older with gray hair and shit like that. That's it. He was the same then, and we got to the championship.
And he's very pretty, and the kicks.
He's very handsome. He still is handsome. Still sweats a lot and fixes his shoulders and his collar, his hands and whatever these fucking things are. He still does that all the time.
Forget the money.
He's still the same quarterback.
He is, but our D isn't the same. We had the number 2 D in 2019. We had the number 2 running attack in 2019. So our team is not the same. Our corners are not the same. Like our pass blocking is better, but we don't have Mostert. We don't have Defoe. We don't have Ford. So there are some big differences. Anyway, the bottom line I was trying to get to
very quickly, Ted. Very, very quickly before we pick the game and then move on to the other games.
Yeah.
Do you think, forgetting the secondary, do you think this defensive line is better now than 2019, bearing in mind who we've got there now and the rotation. Are they better or not?
Maybe better than the playoffs because we were so thin after the starters, but not better than the first 8 games where we had everybody. And before Blair went down and Julian Taylor went down and Ford went down.
D Ford got hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry, who is D Ford? I can't.
Shock and horror.
That's still.
I remember him
he was a difference
briefly.
maker, man. Bosa. I mean, there was a point where Bosa only had 1 sack with D Ford not in the game. So I mean, he made a difference for sure.
And we were missing DJ Jones.
But
that's
on that point, Ted, very quickly. On that point, Ted, very, very quickly, you said DJ Jones going out and Bosa only had 1 sack.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not DJ. Sorry,
D Ford.
D Ford.
It was all those guys. It was D Ford. It was
right.
DJ Jones was out too. Julian Taylor, Ronald Blair.
If you're going on that logic that you just said about the line,
yeah.
How many sacks has Bosa had this year? And D Ford has only played what, 3 games?
Yeah,
so
I know. He had 3 sacks in the game he played.
That this line is better without D Ford, bless his heart.
I mean, how could it be?
Well, Bosa's had more sacks this year.
Well, Bosa's just better. I mean, but it's Bosa's 3rd year. He's like got real man strength now. He was 21 as a rookie? So, I mean, Bosa's just better. Trent Williams said it in camp. He said Bosa's better than he was in 2019, and it's proving out. And sacks doesn't mean everything, right? I mean, it's a nice stat, but it's not the only way to evaluate.
So is Jimmy G being clutch in overtime and then getting the score.
He was great in overtime. He was great against the Falcons.
We don't talk about stats apparently. But anyway, right, we digress. Is anybody
because I literally was in the box next to his brothers at the Falcons game, so I was like, "What the hell do I do when he screws up?" Because I'm not going to.
If I'd have known, I would have texted him and said, "There's a geezer called Ted next door who's dissing your boy. Go and give him a clap."
Hey, well, I'm bigger than those guys, but they outnumbered me 4-1.
Yeah, but they're a lot prettier than you, Ted. And
one of them looks just like Jimmy G.
I did see the picture you sent me, actually. I did think that was Jimmy G. Right. Is anybody picking the Titans for tonight?
If
no.
Alshire doesn't play, I will on that one.
Why did you say that? I don't get it.
Comes down to that. I think Alshire makes a big enough difference. I think it's super close. I think it's going to be a super close game. And I think if Alshire plays, I think Huff being out is big. And
Hufanga definitely is a big loss. I will definitely.
And like their O-line is beat up, but if you think about it, like Compton's a backup, and he's bad in pass protection, and Brunskill is a little better than a backup, but he's also bad in pass protection, and it could be Simmons on Brunskill, and that is a monster mismatch. I mean, monster.
Yeah, but they said that about what's his face? 99 for the Rams.
Aaron Donald, but he owns Aaron Donald.
And he owns it.
Never played well.
Owns him. So
it's
don't
just an
diss the Brunskill.
But every other good defensive tackle eats Brunny's lunch. Every single one.
Trust me.
So Ted, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do the offense win this game, the defense win this game, or the team is going to win this game?
Both of these Ds are going to win this game for whichever team wins.
I'm not talking about the Titans. I'm talking about the 49ers. If the 49ers win.
Defense. It'll be Bosa and Co. getting home on this depleted.
So you agree with what I said earlier, that the defense is going to win this game?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's fair.
It better not be the special teams that win this game. Otherwise, we're in a whole fucking heap of trouble.
I mean, you know what? One of these offenses could win. All right, if either offense could get the ball out quickly to their weapons, right? If we can get it quickly to Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk, or if they can get it quickly to AJ and Julio, that could be the difference. But otherwise, I expect the defensive dominated game, low scoring, close game.
Interesting. I've taken the over, which I think was 42.5 or something on my parlay that I've done. But anyway, right, let's get into picking some Week 16 games very, very quickly. And if you, before we start that, last week, who was the only person to pick Detroit to win?
That was pure.
Who was it?
Salute to you.
That was
Who was the only person?
No, that was only out of spite for the
That was
Arizona
out of
Cardinals.
spite for the NFC West. That was a spite.
No,
Scott.
no.
No. Time out.
A win's a win.
100% spot on. Scott got 100%
win.
spot. It's a spite for the NFC West. You don't choose the Rams. You don't choose the Cardinals. You certainly don't choose the Sea Chickens. Okay.
Excuse me. Did the Lions win?
They did.
Yes,
sir.
convincingly. But
Now,
that
who
doesn't-
Did you pick them to win?
No.
Me. Me. It's all on me. It's my show. I pick the Lions.
The host.
You
I was about to say
can
that.
suck it. I pick the Lions.
Hey, the best lone wolf though of that episode was right here. I was the only person to pick the Colts over the Patriots in that game.
Only because you got a 20-foot high ceiling where you are.
Yeah, exactly. You only go against everyone because you've got the best lone wolf feeling in the business. So don't give me any of that. Right.
All I heard was
Here
Bill
we go.
Belichick was going to school the Colts, and so what? They've got Jonathan Taylor and a good running back, and it don't matter. They're going to shut that down. They're going to take that away, and the Colts aren't going to be able to do anything else. Everybody told me I was crazy for picking against Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
Blah, blah. I picked the Lions. They were heavy underdogs. I don't give a shit about the Patriots and the Colts. I picked the Lions. Right. Browns, Packers. Carl, choose.
Packers all day long.
Ted,
Packers for sure.
Nick,
Packers.
Mr. Smug,
Packers.
Mark,
Packers.
Lawrence.
Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm going with the Pack. Colts, Cardinals. Now, everyone knows which way I'm picking this one, so I'm not even going to bother. But I will say it ain't going to be the Cardinals. Carl?
This is where I have to fucking turn my head now. I'm taking the Cardinals. And someone's got to stop the
I'm telling you
Colts.
now, right? There is
That was a mistake.
There is
Someone's gotta
something
stop the
going
Colts.
on. There is something going on with the Cardinals. I watched Kyler Murray be a petulant little brat, and there's something going on with the Cardinals, and they are going to be the Cardinals and start choking. But if you want to go with them, fair play. Ted?
Well, I'm surrounded by 49ers. So if Scott goes the other way, I'm fucked.
Some people,
All sides.
some people will still pick the Tards. I'm not one of them. Ted?
So how did the Cards start the season in 2020? 5-2. How did they finish the season? I don't know. Do the math. Not good.
Rubbish.
Rubbish. Yeah. And now they're doing the same thing and they got no D-Hop. Yep. Colts stampede all the way.
Mark?
The Colts, of course.
Mr. Smug?
Man, I want to go with Carl so bad, man. Like I don't know. Like I had bought into the Cardinals. I thought the shit was for real this year.
Just to clarify something, Scott, if the Colts win and the Titans lose tonight, the Colts go go level with Tennessee.
Right. Yeah.
Neither of us want that.
No. I mean, I don't care about that really. Chiefs would kick shit out of the Colts. I'm not worried about them. I'll take Patrick Mahomes over Carson Wentz every day of the week, especially on Sundays. I don't want Carl to have to lone wolf here. I'm going to go Cardinals with Carl.
Yay.
Talking of weirdness, look at I've got 2 comments here. Polar Nights on Twitch, and we never get people watching this on Twitch. So fair play to you. As a barber, I love this show. It's every stage of beard growth. Fucking hell. Seriously, you need to fucking get out.
Beard gang. Beard gang.
Jesus, wet. Nick.
Yeah, I'm going Colts, and not just for being a homer. I think the Cards are on the slide.
There's definitely. By the way, Polar Knights, thank you for watching on Twitch. If it was a cave, you'd be the only one in there. Trust me. There's definitely something happening with the Cardinals. Lawrence, what say you?
I say thank you to the commenter. And I agree with everybody, the majority of the panel. There is something going on with the Cardinals. It's called deja vu. It's the same thing that they did last year. As you said, Ted, they started off really hot all over social media. They were wild this year. I couldn't wait for it. And now their petulant child has done what he's going to do as their leader. And Defoe will handle business today. I'll take the Colts.
Definitely. So no lone wolf. Giants, Eagles. Anyone picking the Giants? See, I made that mistake last week and I forgot Mike Glennon was quarterback. And what a shit show that fucking idiot was. Anybody picking the Giants? No, that's quite easy. Now this is going to be interesting because I've already said what a shit show the Chocotron 5000 Mark II is. And he's going up against the Ramily. I'm going to do what I do in games that I just can't pick because both of them are shocking and I can't pick the Rams. So I'm pushing it. I'm saying a score draw. Carl?
Are the Rams at home or on the road?
On the road.
On the road.
No, still taking the Rams.
Who the Lambs play again?
The Rams are at the Vikings.
Oh yeah, the Vikings.
I will say I like the Vikings. You know, they need it more, right? The Rams are they're 2 games ahead of us. I think that, the Rams, they struggled against our rushing attack. Dalvin Cook's out though, right? Did I see that? Does he have COVID?
Yeah, he's on the COVID list, so he's gone.
All right, I guess I'm going Ramily then. Sad
Nick?
to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lambs as well.
You going with
Scott?
the Lambs?
I think the Lambs will win it. I think they got just enough. I don't think they're very good. I think their record is deceiving. But I think they've got enough to beat what is a very poor Vikings team.
On the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just enough. Not much, but
Respect.
just enough.
Hostile environment where Rams fans probably about 5% of the stadium. Just saying.
Isn't that the same when they're at home, though?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I was just about to say it probably if it was at the Rams, it would be like a Vikings home game anyway. Scott, who you got?
The Chargers are the LA team with no fans. The Rams got a pretty good following. They were in LA a long time ago. They got a pretty good fan base in LA. The Rams do still. The Vikings are they're a fucking circus. Their coach is just is the clown too, and that team sucks. I'm sorry, Rams all day.
Mark?
Vikings.
Lawrence?
I'm going to go with the Vikings. I think that with what Nick said, the Rams record is deceiving. No, he still picked them to win, but I think their record is deceiving, and I think they can get punched in the mouth today. The Rams are on the road too, you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're going to lose. Even without Dalvin Cook, I'll take the Vikings. I'll take the land of Prince Rogers Nelson. Rest in peace.
So I guess that makes me a lone wolf, and I always do this on games where I say it's going to be a draw because I can't pick either.
Hang on, Tibby. Yeah. How's it a lone
I
wolf?
am.
Because obviously
I can see them tying.
I am the lone wolf.
Picking a tie?
and the dog loses it.
Nick, you picking a tie?
I'm picking a tie. I can't pick sorry, half
It's not going
Rams,
to be a tie. It's not going to be a tie.
and I certainly ain't picking the Chocotron 5000 Mark II.
I'll take that as Kirk Cousins.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now I know what you meant, brother.
Yeah.
Bills Patriots.
Shit.
Bills Patriots. Mac Jones, did he hit his ceiling last week? He didn't look very good.
Mac
the big
Jones.
Mac attack. I don't know. This is the battle for the first place in the AFC East.
It's not just a battle for first place; it is for the title.
Patriots
This
at
game is for the
home.
AFC East.
I went with the hooded genius last week, and they failed me miserably. Bills don't really have a running game. Patriots were exposed. Fuck it. Bills. Carl.
Hang on.
He said,
Does that not fucking say it? Kill Buffalo. Fuck the Bills. We're winning. We're taking back what is rightfully fucking ours.
Carl's just broken his table. He's going to IKEA tomorrow to get a new one. Otherwise his girlfriend will kill him because he's just broken the dinner table for Christmas Day. So he's going to IKEA.
For that, man.
Ted, what say you?
I think it's a coin flip, but I hate Mac Jones. So go Bills. And Bills are my favorite AFC team, too.
What have you got against Mac Jones?
Oh, just the Mac Jones fans. trying to
everything.
say- yeah.
Even
He's
his
a
name. I mean,
crybaby.
His name.
Where he
McCorkle.
twisted, what's his bucket? Brian Burns' ankle. That was dirty as you want to be. But no, most of the Niners simp for Mac Jones.
He
That's-
never saw him. You can't tell Mac Jones off because he never saw him, even though he did see him. And he
Well,
did
we all like to give Jimmy G shit for winning the NFC CG with 8 passes thrown. Mac Jones made him look like a volume shooter with 3.
Still won.
You do realize it was 40
Still
mile
won.
an hour wins.
I do, and now there won't
be
that was
wind,
not a passing
and now
division.
Josh
That was not a
Allen will
passing
show
game.
what he
That
can
was
do.
not designed. That was not designed for a passing
Listen,
game.
we can
That
have-
was designed for a running
after
game
that
all day,
game,
every day.
actually,
And
I
also,
forgot.
could the Bills stop us even when they stuck 11 men in the box? No, they
We
couldn't.
we had cap excuses. We've had Jimmy Sexuals. I think now we need to bring out Mac excuses. There was a win. I couldn't throw it. My arm wasn't strong enough. The
It's not
fuck outta
strong
here.
enough. That's the
Get
big
out of
knock on
here.
him.
Nick.
I'm not going to go against the Patriots at home. I take the Pats.
Kiss ass. Melissa, Izzy, 49er Izzy in the chat. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you, all UK fans. Hope you're well. We're doing very well. Thanks for chiming in. We appreciate you. Scott.
Man, I want to pick the Bills, but I just think that Belichick is like in the Bills' heads and in McDermott's heads. And after that last game that they lost to him, they were sitting there and Sean McDermott was like unprovoked, just like, this isn't about Bill Belichick. And this is like, to me, that just means the dude's like living in his dome. And I'm going to pick Patriots to win this game.
Kiss off. Mark.
That's just the coaching alone, I think, is the difference in that game.
You know what, Scott? I'm with you, brother. I'm going with the Pats. I have a lot of respect for Coach Bill Belichick. Yo, man, I'm going with the Pats.
Ryan.
I mean, I want the Bills.
Right, sorry. Right, if Ryan was here, he would pick against his wife and pick the Bills. I know he would because he really wants a Merry Christmas.
Just to clarify something, Nick. Ryan's missus has added me on Facebook. So anything that Ryan says on here, I will just relay that onto her.
You're in trouble. I mean, he's already in trouble because he picked against the Patriots.
So,
and
Ryan, you've been warned.
I swear he would have got major trouble for picking against the Pats. And then she tuned in later, and I told her the timestamp to go back where he actually picked against the Pats. So, Ryan, if you are watching, you're picking the Bills just so you can get in trouble with your wife. Lawrence, who have you got?
I'm going to also get in trouble with Ryan's wife, and I'm going to pick the Bills.
Okay.
I think they'll go in there and they're all white and take care of business today. Bills Mafia. And then we get to see people on ESPN jumping on flaming tables and shit.
We do need some more I haven't seen a lot of jumping off tables this year, I have to admit. And I do like
COVID, maybe.
I do like a bit of the Bills Mafia jumping off tables. Ryan may actually be able to come in very quickly. Ryan, are you there? Come in.
Hi, guys.
Sorry.
What's up, Ryan?
We are
Hi,
hectic
Kenny.
over here. We're hectic. We're hectic over here. We're busy over here, guys. Sorry about that. I'm sorry I keep popping in and out like that. I'm sorry. But
I've already
I'm trying
picked
to
the
get
Bills
I'm trying
for
to get a
you.
signal, but I can't get a good signal at all with this phone. So
That's cool.
yeah,
If you can
I
hear
just
me,
want to pop. What's that?
I picked your pick was the Bills to beat the Patriots just for your wife, because I know she's watching.
I got you. Hey guys, hey Lawrence, hey Mark. What's up, guys?
What's going on, brother? Good to see you. You're braving those elements.
Oh man, hey all y'all. Sorry. I've been going back and forth. Sorry, but I won't be on the whole show. I'm sorry.
You're good, brother.
We're busy over here. We're busy.
Yeah.
So
Do what you gotta
I just
do.
want to catch up on real quick and tell you guys I'm about taking my picture right now, but I already get my picture already in. So I just all I say is go Niners tonight. That's all I gotta say. I'm ready. I'm ready for them.
Definitely stay warm. You look you look colder than me, and I'm not smoking at the moment.
Yeah, it's cold out here.
And
It's
I've
cold
got
out here.
condensation. That's how cold it is here. So you look as cold as I do.
Yep. Back to work.
Go for it. Take care, my brother.
Man,
Bye,
your
bye.
business, brother. Be
Guys.
safe.
See you soon,
Yeah,
dude.
be safe, definitely.
Dude, was Ryan rocking
Ryan
the
checking
gloves
in.
with no fingers? Is that what I saw there at the end?
Brave.
I don't know. It looked
Cold
cold.
enough where only your palms get cold, but not the rest of your hand.
Terrible. Buccaneers, who got shut out last week, and I'm not going to lie, it was hilarious.
I
What was
wanted to pick the
even
Saints so
funnier
bad last week.
was Brady throwing that Microsoft tablet. That was hilarious. I can't go against the Bucks because the Panthers are awful. They are awful, and they are still sticking with Cam Newton. Ridiculous. Bucks for me. Carl.
The worst thing that coming up against Tom Brady is a pissed off Tom Brady. He's going to throw for freaking 4 touchdowns to Antonio Brown. Give me the Bucks all day long.
Ted.
It pains me to say Tom Brady, but yeah, it'd be crazy to bet against him.
I don't think anyone's going to. Surely we're not. Nick, I know you haven't had many ciders, but even you can't be that drunk to pick the Panthers.
I was going to even try and make a joke, and I can't even do that. So no, you've got to go back. I was waiting for you to go. Is anyone going to pick it? And I was going to raise my hand, and then no, I was going to bat it away. But no, Bucks.
Trouble is, if you raise your hand in here, it means you need to go to the bathroom, Nick. You know that by now. Scott?
Nah, man, I got a stadium caddy. I'm good.
Scott?
Hey, where's Shark at? I thought Shark was going to be on here today. Could he couldn't get a hall pass? He couldn't get on
Unfortunately, it's
there. Must be
his.
nap time there, whatever school he goes to, kindergarten.
Unfortunately, and bless him, he was definitely coming on, and then his family dropped a hammer drop of a family Christmas meal, so he couldn't come on. I said it was his Microsoft tablet. He broke it, but no, apparently it's a Christmas dinner, so he couldn't get out of it, unfortunately. But I will get him on, and we will remember last week's game. Trust me.
He missed it like Joe Flacco misses easy reads to his right hand side.
There you go. Yeah, no, I'll Buccaneers. Yeah, I wanted to pick the Saints so bad last week. There's something about the Saints defense and the Buccaneers. They lock them down.
Can we just before we carry on? Can we kind of sort of maybe put Sean Payne maybe in line for maybe Coach of the Year? Considering the amount of injuries the Saints have actually had and the fact they're 7-7, they're still rolling. They're still in the mix for a wild card spot, even without Jameis Winston. Is that even possible?
Bounty Gate. That's all I need to say. That should tarnish his legacy forever. Fuck Sean Payton.
Who cares? It's football. Jesus Christ.
He was
We
lucky
care.
that he didn't
It's
get
fuck Sean
banned.
Payton for real. That's true. I gotta admit.
Him and that other piece of shit, Greg, what's his face, should have been banned.
The Roman? No, that's
No, not
Greg
Greg.
Williams.
Roman.
Greg Williams.
Greg Williams.
Williams. There you
Yeah,
go.
Greg
Both
Williams.
of them should have been banned for life. Fuck him and fuck the Saints. Mark,
I'm going with the Bucks, man. Tom Brady, he's an ultimate competitor. You know, that's one guy that I normally don't bet against. I'm going with the Bucks. And plus, that's my youngest brother team, and I know he's probably watching, but yeah, I'm going with the Bucks, man.
cool. Lawrence,
Yeah, Brady's. I need Brady for my fantasy to kick my son's asses this weekend. So definitely got to go with the Bucks.
No, I'm not buying. No, I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
Absolutely.
now, every week I look at the fixtures and see there is a shit fest.
Oh,
The
here we go.
battle of the basement, the shit bowl this week. The
Jacksonville against the
Jaguars versus the Jets.
holy shit.
This game is a shit show.
I mean, I don't know. Jets. Even without Robert Saleh, Jets. Carl, I know it's depressing, everyone, but we need to go through every game, good or bad.
You said
And
the
I'm
Jaguars-
terribly sorry to put you through this.
You said the Jaguars and the Jets?
I haven't even finished my
Jaguars,
whiskey.
Jets.
I haven't even finished my whiskey chaser yet. Fucking hell. Oh God. Do you know what? For the memes, give me the Texans. Fuck it.
They're not playing.
They're not playing, you plum. It's Jaguars, Jets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know.
Yeah, that's right.
Seriously, it's cold. That's what was in that glass of yours or what you've been smoking off camera.
Oh. Okay. All right, sorry.
Right, hang on. Jaguars versus the Jets.
Sorry. It's been a
Try
long week.
again.
It's been a long week. After my bold prediction of Trevor Lawrence going for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, that fucking
How did
felt
that work out?
shit. I'm taking the Jets then.
Ted, I don't know how you can follow that, but please try. Jaguars, Jets.
The winning team begins with J. Oh wait, J-A.
What does our city begin with?
So that means he called
J,
for a tie.
J-A, both J-A.
He called for a
Jacksonville
tie.
Jags.
You go,
Okay.
Jax. Okay.
Nick,
Right. This is a shit show all the way, as we know. But you call it a toilet bowl, but I think now we're looking at a toilet out of train spotting. You know, the worst toilet in the world. It's that. It is actually that could make it look good.
That'll make it more interesting. It will.
It's just this is the worst matchup in the history of ever. It's awful.
Professional sport.
It's awful. I'm going to go Jets just because they're home. That's
thing
it.
is, it could be the toilet from Train Spotting with Carl's pick of one team that's not actually playing in the game. Who knows? Scott,
I might need a refill.
Yeah, you probably have to be on some heroin to watch this game.
Yeah.
Who won Who won last week? Was Jets Dolphins, right? We picked last week.
Yeah, Dolphins. I think
Dolphins.
everyone chose the Fins. Yeah, everyone
Dolphins
chose
ended
the
up winning that
Fins.
game.
Even I picked against Salah, and it came true. Although, to be fair, the Jets were in it.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think
a
I
quite-
lost the Jets.
Shockingly, they were. Shockingly, they were.
Yeah.
Shockingly, the Dolphins suck. Jags, Jets. Does anybody pick the Jags yet?
Ted.
Ted did.
Ted
He
did.
did?
I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's right. Yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah.
go with my boy Ted. I'm gonna roll with the Jags too.
We needed a debut lone wolf, Scott. You're letting me down here. This is called This is like the Eurovision Song Contest. You need tactical voting. Mark,
Jets. It's easy for me, man. Jets. Do it.
Lawrence?
Do it for Salah. Plus he got the COVID too. I hope he gets better. Jets.
Respecting the same to jump off that. Yep. Definitely prayers to Salah. Hope he gets better, but he's not going to be feeling better at the end of this game. I'm taking Jacksonville.
Ooh.
The quarterback has my name. He doesn't make it look good so far, but
So, Nick,
it's just the last name.
Nick, you have the tiebreaker. 3 people have chosen the Jags. 3 people have chosen the Jets. So, who are you taking?
What's up,
I
man?
already picked. Which Nick? Me?
You.
I already picked the Jets, you melon.
Oh, that's right.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
you did.
Carl, fucking hell, mate. Lay off what you're drinking.
Where's that
You're-
bottle of Jameson orange at? Carl?
That's what I'm drinking. Well, it
How
was
much
anyway.
is left in that
Dude.
bottle?
Dude, put more water with it. Don't do 3 parts whiskey, 1 part water.
I do all parts whiskey. Yeah, shit.
I'm
Yeah.
going to say,
Straight out of the
Carl,
bottle.
this
See,
is
Lawrence
not.
has got the idea. Okay.
No
Carl,
parts
this
what?
has
No
not
parts
been
anything.
your best
But a glass.
performance, I have to
It's-
say,
it-
on the Shank Club ever. But
it's
it's your
Christmas.
last day of work, so I'll cut you some slack. But it
It's
is
Christmas,
funny.
so it's Christmas, so move the fuck on, all right?
My hometown Lions against the Falcons.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm going Lions, baby.
Who's at home?
That might be worse.
It is the Falcons at home. Carl, it is. Right, let me tell you again. Carl, just for you. Lions, Falcons. Who have you got?
I've renamed this bowl the Vanderbilt Rutgers Bowl because this is about as bad as the Jets and the Jags. Falcons are a mess. The Lions look like I've got something going, so I'm going to go with the hot team, and I'm going to take Detroit.
Ted?
I agree. Lions.
Nick?
I go in Lions as well.
Scott?
Keep it going.
Okay. First
Come
of
on.
all,
Come on,
calling the
Scott.
Lions the hot hand is just. Come on, man.
Come
They
on,
won
Scott.
fucking 2 games.
They
this
beat
year.
the Cardinals. How's that not the hot hand?
Come on, man. Scott, it
That was
should
a
be easy.
fluke. That was so. The Cardinals gave that fucking game away.
Come on, Scott. Keep it going, man.
No, man. I'm gonna roll with the ATL. I'm going with the Falcons. The Dirty
Okay.
Birds, man.
See, he's going with his high ceilings for the lone wolf is what he's doing. I know what
Going
you're
Atlanta.
up to.
I can't be the only person gonna pick. I cannot be the
Mark?
only person that's gonna pick against the Lions for fuck's sake.
Lions, man.
You are.
Lions.
Oh dear. Scott, warm up those pipes. Let me hear that ceiling, brother.
Let me get something great.
All Goff needed was a good receiver. Reynolds has helped him a lot.
If they
Yeah.
win, right, that would be a 2-game winning streak, right?
They should have kept Galladay too.
They also beat
3, I think? Or did they
Minnesota.
lose last 3?
The Lions are a cheap organization. They didn't want to
That'd
pay
be a 2-game
Golladay, and
winning streak
Golladay's
or
injury
3?
goods.
Maybe 3.
I think it was 2 out of the last 3. They beat the
Or
Lions
like that, yeah.
or the Vikings the weekend we lost to the Seahawks. So we didn't lose
Motor
ground again
City, baby.
3
Scott,
weeks ago.
hit it.
It's pretty good.
Spends $1 million on a home, but spends an extra 250 grand to make sure the ceilings are really high. I love it, Scott. Chargers Texans. Can anybody see the Texans pulling this one out, or are we all on the Chargers here? Oh, look, he's going. Oh,
Carl can.
Carl.
Chargers.
Bolt up.
Chargers.
Ted.
Chargers.
Mark.
Chargers.
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah, I got to pick the Chargers, man. They're not going to lose to Houston.
Clean sweep. Ravens. Bungles. Don't know if Lamar Jackson's playing. He's still out with his injured ankle. Bungles for me.
As good as Lamar Jackson.
Bungle, yeah. The backup looked good last week, I must admit. But yeah,
Who's at home?
I'm going to go Bungles. Carl, once again, Ravens versus Bengals. Ravens-Bengals we're on now. We're not talking about the 49ers or the Jets or the Giants. Who have you got?
Why are you being so fucking condescending to me?
Because I told you to pick a game and you picked the wrong fucking team that weren't even playing. That might have something to do with it. But I've just got to remind you, just in case you forget.
The last time these two teams played, the Bungles smacked up the Ravens 41-17. I've now got Cincinnati winning this division, and I don't think that's going to change. I'm taking Cincinnati.
He sobered up really quickly then, didn't he, people? Ted?
Yeah, Bengals for sure. The Ravens have only gotten worse since the Bengals beat them last.
Nick?
Bungles.
Scott?
Yep, Cincinnati.
Mark?
Cincinnati.
Lawrence?
Come on, Lawrence.
Cincinnati and that sorry ass Sunday Night Football commentator. X team. I hate him, by the way, and I think we all know who I'm talking about. I refuse to say his name. Damn it.
Collinsworth, yeah.
Shitsworth, yeah. Fuck you, Chris Collinsworth.
Carl looks like he's on a chair.
Don't be mad, fucker.
Carl looks like he's on a chair with casters, so I think we need to get him to do a Collinsworth slide, and hopefully he doesn't fall on his ass.
He also sucks at the job too. I think I can say that unbiasedly. He's not good at his job, period. But
I hate Collinsworth.
There's a guy who hates Collinsworth.
I don't like him. Bears versus the Sea Chickens, and sorry, I did actually forget to mention Sea Chickens.
The time has come.
Fucking excellent. I love it.
The long nightmare is over.
Love it. Pete Carroll, take your chewing gum ass out the fucking.
If you want to think about the next person that I hate, I've hated him since he was coaching in LA because that's where I'm from. So fuck you, Pete Carroll. Congratulations.
Yeah. Enjoy your winning season, motherfucker, and the Seattle Seahawks. But as I did put out on Twitter, at least one person will be left after the 12s have all fucked off because they suck. And that's that dude from Free Willy with the original Seattle Seahawks hat on. That's the only one that's left. You know I'm not picking. You know I am not picking Seattle. As bad as the Bears are, I'm not picking Seattle.
Well,
I'm taking Alabama.
You know my answer then, because I'm not picking the Sea Chickens either.
Nope. Bears.
And you don't have to come. Is it a high school team? You don't have to come down to me. You got my answer.
You got my answer.
Nick.
I'm going with is the Ginger Assassin playing?
The fuck whether he's playing or not, I couldn't give a shit. Fuck him.
Oh no, that just means like how much the Bears are going to win. That's not Bears. Fuck the Sea Chickens.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle. Bears.
Where's the game? Where's the game?
Come on, Scott.
It versus the it is at whatever it's called, Lumen's fucking empty stadium.
Lumen Field.
No, whatever.
Still couldn't give a fuck. Fuck the Seahawks. Carl?
I don't trust either of these teams.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Seattle just because they've at least they have a quarterback that can actually they rely on, rather than just throw.
Yeah,
Justin
DK
Fields to fucking
Metcalf.
die in front of that.
I think he's
pathetic
quit.
in front of that pathetic excuse you call an offensive line. Although to be honest, Russell Wilson is suffering the same fate. But hey ho, it's at home. I'm going to take Seattle.
Ted?
Ted.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'll go with the Bears.
There you go. So 2 people want the Sea Chickens. Unfortunately, a losing season. Fuck you, Seahawks. Fuck you, Pete Carroll. Fuck the 12s. Enjoy going from first to worst in the NFC West. I love it. I just love it. Steelers, Chiefs. Anyone picking the sorry ass Steelers?
Where's the game?
It is at whatever it's
Arrowhead.
called. Gayhar at Arrowhead.
Yeah. Okay, that's a negative.
Yeah. I'm with the Chiefs. I got you, Scott. I'm with the Chiefs.
Easy win.
As much as I hate Scott and the Chiefs, I can't pick the Steelers. I can't. I just can't. As much as I want to, trust me, as much as I want to.
That's what I asked for the game was.
But then, depending on COVID, we might see the second best tight end in the NFL in Travis Kelce. Oh, sorry, Scott, shouldn't have brought that up. Broncos, Raiders. Broncos. Carl?
I don't know which team to take fucking seriously here. Teddy Bridgewater goes down injured. Drew Lock comes in, does jack and shit.
Don't diss my lock.
And the Raiders absolutely dismantled the Broncos in their first meeting. So I'm taking Las Vegas.
Sucker. Ted?
It pains me to say the Raiders.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm going to go Faders as well. I feel dirty.
Now, if I was a betting man, I would say Scott is picking the Broncos, but I'm not. Scott?
I don't want to pick either of those sorry ass fucking teams, to be honest with
Or
you.
take a tie then. Take a tie.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Take a high ceiling, low wall push.
I'll pick the Broncos just because I can't pick the fucking Raiders. I'm not.
There you go. There you go. Mark?
Raiders.
Lawrence?
I went to a game between these two teams one time in Oakland. It was one of the greatest and one of the worst experiences of my life. And I currently live in Las Vegas. I'm from LA. So I'm gonna take the Raiders this time. I'm gonna take Las Vegas, my current hometown. And I think mainly because I think Teddy Bridgewater is not gonna be able to play, if at all, not well after he was leaving on a wheelchair or on a gurney like I was watching wrestling last week. So I'm gonna take
it certainly didn't look good, did it?
It didn't, but I think it's better than it looked at that point, yeah. But I don't think he'll play well this game. So
He's not playing. It's Lock.
Did I lone wolf?
There you go.
Did I lone wolf this one?
No, Scott had the Broncos as well.
Good man. That's what I like. Another predictable game. Another predictable pick from me. The WTF versus the Cowboys. Anyone's watched this show before will know I'm never picking the Cowboys. I don't care if the WTF only have 10 active players on their roster, both sides of the ball.
So that means
I don't care if Ron Riverboat Ron suits up to play tight end, I am still picking WTF. I will never pick the Cowboys. And I don't think if the Cowboys defense wasn't as good as it was this year, I think that offense will be found out as well against a decent team. We could play them in the playoffs. Dak Prescott, get ready, baby, because if the Niners roll into your town, we are going to kick your fucking ass.
And
You
plus,
heard
we
it.
owe them.
Badly.
We owe them
You
one.
heard it here. Carl,
WFT really have disappointed me over the last couple of weeks. I'm taking Dallas.
Come on, Carl.
do you know what? I need a new fucking co-host. Anyone wants to be a new co-host? Gang Club NFL.
He's pretty good, but with decision making like that, I don't know.
Terrible.
Excuse me. My picks have been better than yours. Period throughout this season, so I don't see why you're floundering.
At least I pick the right teams when they're two teams are playing in a game. Ted,
I mean, I want the Washington football team to win, but I believe the
Pick them.
Cowboys will win.
Nick,
See, common sense prevails. Okay.
No, it doesn't. Washington to win.
good man.
Oh, he's on me? You call
It's on you,
Scott?
Mark. Yeah.
Scott.
Oh.
Oh, Scott.
Me, Dallas.
Oh, come on.
Don't let your son grow up to be a cowboy.
I mean,
Huh?
come on, man. Washington's one of the worst teams in the league, man.
Washington.
Exactly. Lawrence,
I wouldn't pick those bitches if you had a gun to my head. So go Washington.
there you go. WTF for the win. Last game, I believe. It is. Oh, shit. Press the wrong button. Dolphins versus Ian Book and the Saints. Now,
Who?
Tua still looked shocking.
He was a quarterback out of Notre Dame.
4th round pick.
Fourth
Do you
round
know
pick.
what?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm going for the Saints. Carl?
Oh, I don't.
Come on,
I want the Dolphins to suck so badly, but this.
Right. They're average enough, though.
The Saints just beat the Buccaneers, Carl. Come on.
9-0.
So
They're due for a letdown.
Yeah.
If that wasn't a letdown,
And it was impressive, too.
that too.
Reluctantly,
It's both a letdown and impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive. Because
reluctantly, I'm going to take the team that's got a quarterback that has apparently bad mechanics, according to Nick, and I'm taking the.
No,
Dolphins.
he just looks shit because he's a lefty.
So you're disrespecting left-handers. Is anybody a
him.
left-hander?
Look at Steve Young's mechanics being a lefty. Look at Tua.
good
Game
point.
over.
Did he win you a Super Bowl?
Talk about a beautiful ball.
Right,
He-
exactly. There you go.
But my point is, look at Tua versus Steve Young. Chalk and cheese, my friend. Chalk and cheese. Who are you picking, Carl?
I'm taking the Finns reluctantly.
Ted?
You're muted.
You're
You're
muted.
muted, sir.
That's a tough one. I mean, I can't really decide. I definitely want the Dolphins to win, so I'll go with the Dolphins.
Nick?
Yeah, I don't like going with the Dolphins because Tua cussed out the Niners at Levi Stadium. But I'm going to take the Finns.
Pardon me?
Do you not remember that when he played for the national championship with Bama? He cussed out the Niners at Levi Stadium, openly went out and said, I hate the Niners. I am a Cowboys fan.
Tua said that?
Tua said that.
I haven't been able to close my mouth. I'm sorry. Okay.
I got a fact.
Hey, classy Tua.
Go ahead and get to me then. No.
That changes everything. Scott?
But nothing at all. But
if the Saints can hold Tampa Bay to 0 points in a shutout. They might hold the Dolphins to negative points somehow. Dolphins might get like -7 in this game against the Saints. This is easy pick. Saints all day.
Wow.
Mark,
Thanks, my brother.
Lawrence.
Well, New Orleans for sure. I was just going to start with just that same from you got from the defense just held Brady to 0, and they have Tua, who fuck you Tua, who doesn't throw a ball anywhere near as nice as Steve Young. Now I hear this, man. That's just I can't even believe that. Yeah, Saints.
Honestly, I don't know what it is with Tua, and I know you shouldn't put him up against a Hall of Famer like Steve Young. But you just look at the way he throws it, and it's just weird.
Yeah, there's a weirdness factor for sure with Tua.
Definitely.
And those shadows of that New Orleans stadium will affect him today.
I still think Miami will be looking for a QB next season. And it could be Deshaun Watson if he gets off his charges that aren't charges, that he's too
Jimmy G.
He's too busy massaging the figures.
Man.
Oops, sorry.
I cannot believe Deshaun Watson hasn't played.
Jimmy Miami. Take Jimmy down there. Send Jimmy down there.
Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, I can't believe Deshaun Watson hasn't played in a single game this year. That is just fucking mind blowing to me.
It's the weirdest thing, right? Because
it's so
everybody
one of the best
knows
quarterbacks
what
in the
he's up against, but there's no official charges. He's not been exempt. There's really no reason why, innocent till proven guilty, why he hasn't played. I don't know. I know trading him is a bit different because if they traded him and these things came out and it went to court, the team that took him would be fucked. I get that. But why Houston didn't play him, who knows? Right, we are going to get up out of here very, very shortly. Final thoughts. Carl, if you can remember, let everyone know where they can follow you. What is your channel and how many drinks have you had? The floor is yours.
Well, I've had only one of this whiskey, so that probably will end up only being my one. You can find me on Twitter at TFIBUK20. My YouTube channel is 2 Feet in Bounds. I cover all 32 teams of the NFL. You can find us on Twitch as well, TFIBUK20. We are on all major podcast platforms on iTunes, Spotify, Deezer, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. Just hoping that we can just clear this up against the Bills. We run the AFC East, not you. You just borrowed it off us for 1 year. Your dynasty ends Sunday. Period. However, if I could stay up long enough, I might consider doing another watch-along. 49ers Titans watch-along. Not guaranteed yet. But if anybody is interested and wants to join us on the panel while the game is still going ahead for live reactions, hit me up on my Twitter account. We'll get you on. And, yeah.
This could be the greatest drunk watch-along ever in the history of watch-alongs. If anyone is around that wants to join Carl.
Drinking is compulsory in that watch-along, okay? I just make that clear.
Can I just say, you need one of those brown grocery bags over your drink just to make yourself look like a real wino. Ted, thanks for coming on. Let everyone know where they can follow you on Twitter. I obviously know you write for 49ers Hive, I believe, but let everyone know where they can find you and what you're doing and where you are.
Yeah, TedH6 on Twitter. And just a big Niners fan. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Great to meet you guys all live. And I hope I didn't talk too much.
We didn't even notice you were here because I kept muting you. No, I'm only joking. Nick, let everyone know where they can follow you and all that good stuff, isn't it?
Racism. It's disgusting. It's at NLudlum84. You're just going to get a lot of biased Niners stuff. Follow these guys. These guys. They're your content creators. Follow these guys.
We don't create content. We create havoc and chaos. Scott, let everyone know what drive-in they can find you at in Kansas City wearing your McDonald's outfit and your YouTube channel.
Yeah, you can find me at the Kingdom Cast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that shit, Twitch. You can also follow me personally at this Mr. Rogers. Looking forward to the games this weekend. 3 games to go. Then we start talking playoffs. Chiefs are in the driver's seat. We could get to play the Steelers, so to me, like, my hierarchy or lowerarchy, I guess you might want to call it, of NFL teams that I can't stand. You got the Raiders way down here, then the Broncos, then the fucking Steelers. I can't stand the Steelers. So this is a good week for me here. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to the rest of the games. Hope your Niners can take care of business and help us Chiefs out, and also help you guys' playoff chances out by taking down the Titans tonight. I'll be rooting for the other red and gold for sure.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs blew out the Steelers 45-3 or something ridiculous. You saw what they did to the Raiders, and the Raiders are a far better team than the Steelers. So I'm actually going to watch the Chiefs Steelers, and I hope you don't let me down, because if they don't blow them out, trust me, I'm coming after you, Mr. Rogers. Mark, let everyone know where they can find you, what you're up to. Obviously, Ryan's not in here at the moment. Let everyone know what his YouTube channel is that you're involved with, Lawrence, etc. Let everyone know where they can hit you up and your final thoughts.
Okay, well, first and foremost, I want to say God bless everybody that's on the panel. Nick, thank you for inviting me to your show for the second time. Ted and Nick, it's a pleasure to meet you, brothers. Go Niners. You can find me at Twitter, Mark_Faithful87. Like I always said, I've been faithful since 87. You can find Ryan, myself, and Lawrence at Always Faithful 24/7 on YouTube channel. God bless everybody. Go Niners. Stay faithful.
Go Niners.
And last, but not last, because I'm last because it's my show and I finish it off. But second to last, but not least, Lawrence, let everyone know where they can find you. I know you've got your own YouTube, etc., but let everyone know where they can find you.
Well, thank you as always, first of all, sir, for the seat. To all you gentlemen, happy holidays. It was a pleasure being on with you, conversing, collabing. Be safe to everyone here. Be safe to all the faithful. You can find me at, as it says there, Bam Bam LJ29, Bam Bam LJ29 on YouTube. That's my channel. And then also with Ryan, who couldn't necessarily really be here with us today, and my man Mark, and he said Always Faithful 24/7 on YouTube as well. And then follow me on Twitter, man, Bam Bam LOD.
Awesome.
Be safe.
Thank you to everyone that came on. Sorry the abominable snowman could only make it in briefly. I've had a blast this year. This is probably going to be the last. We may do one in between Christmas and New Year. Who knows? We obviously aren't going to be around Saturday because that's Christmas Day, and that's quite big for us in the UK. I've got a turkey the size of a small island that I've got to cook. So I'm going to be enjoying turkey, whiskey, cigars, everything. Thank you, everybody who's watched us this year. Thank you for all the contributors. Thank you for the new just thank you to everyone from the bottom of my heart. Everyone knows it's been a hard year for me and for everyone with what's going on with COVID and just all the shit that's going on in the world. I've got a Christmas message and I'm going to finish on it. It is predictable, but my Christmas message is fuck the Seahawks, fuck the Raiders, fuck the Cowboys. George Kittle is the best tight end in football. Kelsey, step off. You are not the best.
He wishes.
Above all else, stay safe. Stay faithful. Go Niners. I appreciate every one of you that's been on this channel this year. All the comments, everyone that's been in. I really appreciate you. Have a lovely Christmas. Stay safe. Masks, everything you need to do. Stay safe, everyone. We will see you between Christmas and New Year somehow. Who knows? Carl, stay sober. I might watch the watch along just for a laugh because it's going to be funny. Freddie, sorry you couldn't make it in, but obviously that's what it is. Thank you, everyone. This is the Shank Club NFL. My name is Nick. There goes Carl. There goes Ted. There's Nick, Mr. Smug, Mark, Lawrence. We are done. Go Niners.
Go
Niner gang.
Niners.
Go Niners.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.